Dragnet. In 1951, a no-nonsense detective named Joe Friday marched onto television screens with badge number 714 and a mission to show crime exactly as it was. The show was Dragnet, and it didn't simply take from authentic cases, it was constructed upon them. Creator Jack Webb partnered closely with the Los Angeles Police Department, drawing storylines directly from official case files and refining scripts with an almost obsessive attention to procedural detail. Webb even attended Academy lectures, soaking up the department's internal jargon and weaving it into the show's famously clipped dialogue. Though dramatized, the scripts mirrored the style and format of real police documentation, concise, direct, and meticulous. Each episode opened with the promise, the story you are about to see is true, and for once that actually held weight. Webb's vision was part showbiz, part public relations. As post-war crime rates rose and public trust in law enforcement wavered, Dragnet delivered a polished, steady-handed look at policing. Historians argue that the series played a crucial role in reshaping the LAPD's public image, though it was just one component of a broader campaign. And while Joe Friday's iconic line, "Just the facts, ma'am," never literally appeared on the show, it lodged in popular memory through countless spoofs and pop culture references. Away from the spotlight, rumors emerged that the LAPD influenced more than just technical accuracy, with a few insiders guessing the department subtly guided scripts to align with its interests. Whether that sway was minimal or profound is still debated, but Dragnet undeniably melded authenticity with image building. Its influence is evident in nearly every police procedural that followed. Naked City. Naked City didn't merely shatter convention, it flung it off a Manhattan rooftop. Airing from 1958 to 1963, this ABC crime drama was among the earliest to abandon studio sets and film entirely on location across New York's 5 boroughs. That approach gave the series a gritty, street-level authenticity seldom witnessed on television of that era. Loosely adapted from the 1948 film of the same title, itself derived from actual NYPD case files and Ouija Stark photography, the show embraced true-to-life storytelling. Writers frequently drew from genuine police documents and local headlines, crafting episodes that felt more like urban parables than conventional fiction. The show's final line, some variation of "there are 8 million stories in the Naked City, this has been one of them," transcended mere slogan. It defined the series. With guest performers like Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, and Gene Hackman appearing before achieving stardom, Naked City also served as a launchpad for future luminaries. However, filming in authentic neighborhoods posed challenges, managing permits, sidestepping onlookers, and appeasing a network wary of stirring social waters. Some insiders contend that ABC leaders discreetly watered down select episodes to avert controversy, while others maintain the show's influence seeped into later successes like Hill Street Blues and Law & Order. Despite never reaching top ratings, Naked City secured its legacy in TV history by refusing to gloss over the grit and humanity of everyday urban existence. Medic. In 1954, NBC premiered Medic, a show that didn't merely depict the medical world, it dissected it. While most Golden Age programs gravitated toward melodrama or suspense, Medic scrutinized real-world healthcare, ranking among the first American TV shows to present medically precise cases. Conceived by James E. Moser, the same creator behind Dragnet, the series collaborated closely with the American Medical Association, a rarity back then. Scripts underwent strict accuracy checks, and episodes were frequently shot with genuine hospital apparatus, sometimes in actual clinical settings. Richard Boone served as narrator, portraying Dr. Conrad Steiner, a fictional practitioner molded from discussions with real physicians. Episodes tackled a range of subjects, from life-altering diagnoses to the psychological burden of caregiving. Some stories claim that one especially poignant installment about a child's illness broadened awareness of pediatric care, triggering a surge in donations to children's hospitals. Whether truth or anecdote, it boosted the show's growing standing. Critics applauded its unvarnished approach, while some questioned whether it was too intense for prime time. Rumor has it that Medic paved the path for future medical dramas, with certain observers suspecting its influence can be traced to shows like ER and Grey's Anatomy. Though that link remains debated, Medic unquestionably stands as a pioneer in genuine medical storytelling. The lineup. In 1954, CBS unveiled a police procedural that discreetly pioneered new territory. The lineup drew not just superficial inspiration from real incidents. It was directly informed by official San Francisco Police Department case files, starring Detective Ben Guthrie and his first partner Fred Asher, later succeeded by Lieutenant Pete Kyle. The show emphasized genuine procedure over sensationalism. Unlike many of its peers, it filmed on location in San Francisco, capturing the city's fog-shrouded streets and unvarnished character with uncommon authenticity for its time. Though Dragnet had already championed realism, the lineup took an even darker, more deliberate approach. Some critics lauded its quasi-documentary flair, while others contended its subdued profile arose from a refusal to glamorize detective work. Rumors in television circles hinted that network decision-makers found the show's grim tone disconcerting, worrying it might be too severe for evening audiences. Still, for viewers seeking substance over spectacle, the lineup delivered a no-frills depiction of law enforcement that came across more as a police record than a scripted piece. The Silent Service. Amid an era dominated by slapstick comedies and Western gunfights, The Silent Service veered toward authentic combat tactics. Airing from April of 1957 to August of 1958, it showcased dramatized episodes of United States Navy submarine missions from the Second World War, mostly assembled from declassified documents and verified events, though polished for television. Each installment was presented by Rear Admiral Thomas M. Dykers, a former skipper of the USS Jack, a vessel credited with sinking over 76,000 tons of hostile shipping. His presence was more than a mere flourish. It heralded the Navy's deep collaboration, extending to genuine footage, naval parlance, and technical consultants from active submarine crews. Contemporary naval press releases touted the series' goal of maximum authenticity, and it showed. Episodes like the USS Barb sabotage run on Karafuto Island highlighted uncommon ground incursions on Japanese territory. Critics branded the show part docudrama, part Cold War propaganda tool. Some believe the timing paralleled a Department of Defense drive to increase enlistment and rally public confidence amid developing East-West friction. Though it never soared in the ratings as high as I Love Lucy or Gunsmoke, The Silent Service forged a distinctive niche, one of the few Golden Age productions to swap comedic cues for genuine feats under the sea. Mr. District Attorney. Long before courtroom dramas became staples of television, Mr. District Attorney was already transforming headlines into primetime stories. Debuting on the small screen in 1951 following a successful radio run, the program distinguished itself by drawing from authentic criminal prosecutions. Although not every episode depicted a specific trial, numerous storylines merged elements of real events, reflecting the era's legal skirmishes. The central figure, a pragmatic prosecutor, took inspiration from Thomas E. Dewey, the renowned New York district attorney who rose to prominence in the 1930s by dismantling organized crime syndicates led by Dutch Schultz and Charles Lucky Luciano. Dewey's relentless campaign against corruption shaped the series' tone, tough, ethically steadfast, and unafraid to confront the status quo. Buzz persists that early scripts were discreetly reviewed by law enforcement to maintain procedural accuracy, though it was never officially verified. Unlike most legal shows of the time, which often showcased defense attorneys, Mr. District Attorney shifted attention to the government's perspective, emphasizing the moral balancing act prosecutors faced. Its popularity between 1951 and 1953 helped open doors for future legal hits, though programs like Perry Mason would opt for a different viewpoint. Critics applauded its snappy realism, even as some legal experts expressed dismay at its stark morality. Still, for early television, it was a groundbreaking gamble, presenting justice with one foot grounded in fact and the other firmly in show business. The Court of Last Resort. In 1957, NBC introduced The Court of Last Resort, a legal series grounded in actual investigations. Diverging from Perry Mason's courtroom spectacle, this program took inspiration from real cases probed by a team of legal authorities, journalists, and private eyes assembled by Earl Stanley Gardner. The same Gardner who created Perry Mason had, in the late 1940s, formed an organization bearing the same name to re-examine suspect verdicts. Each episode dramatized their discoveries, unearthing coerced admissions, shaky forensic evidence, or questionable witnesses. The production did more than entertain, it critiqued the status quo. Gardner once argued that the legal process too often assumes guilt rather than innocence, a principle that guided both the organization and the broadcast. Though it survived for just one season, from 1957 to 1958, its impact reverberated for years. Some maintain the series' early cancellation wasn't fueled by low ratings, but rather by discomfort it caused among powerful interests. Talk has persisted that network management was urged to cancel it, uneasy about the show's depiction of law enforcement. Although never a massive success, the Court of Last Resort became a cult reference for subsequent exoneration efforts, foreshadowing groups like the Innocence Project in 1992. It stands among the few Golden Age shows to confront real-world injustice head-on, far in advance of true crime's rise to TV dominance. Highway Patrol. Highway Patrol, arriving on television in 1955, didn't simply represent another crime show. It pioneered some of the earliest efforts to infuse procedural authenticity into the medium. Fronted by Academy Award winner Broderick Crawford as Chief Dan Matthews, the series drew broad cues from Highway Patrol units across the United States. Though not lifted from any single case, its producers strove to imitate the cadence and style of genuine policing, setting it apart from the more dramatized fare of the day. Shot around California's thoroughfares and side roads, the show adopted a lean, swift-paced format that some reviewers compared to an informal documentary. Crawford's staccato line readings, rumored to echo authentic police radio calls, became the show's signature. Some sources suggest his assertive portrayal even shaped how the public viewed law enforcement at a time when roadway safety was becoming a nationwide issue. Despite lacking official agency backing, the series' procedural framework reportedly garnered subdued approval from actual officers. Distributed to stations across the globe, Highway Patrol helped carry the American procedural template abroad, potentially influencing the genealogy of TV crime hits internationally. Its lasting impact, often underappreciated now, paved the path for countless police dramas to follow. The Adventures of Jim Bowie. In the crowded landscape of 1950s westerns, The Adventures of Jim Bowie carved out its own space by featuring an actual historical figure, though with a substantial layer of fiction. Airing on ABC from 1956 to 1958, the production showcased Scott Forbes as the legendary frontiersman Jim Bowie, recognized for the knife bearing his name and his role in the Battle of the Alamo. Instead of dwelling on his final days in Texas, this series followed his earlier exploits in Louisiana, blending loosely influenced historical references with mostly fabricated plots. While episodes occasionally mentioned notables like Sam Houston or Andrew Jackson, the narratives leaned heavily into dramatized frontier escapades, more pulp than documentary. Contrary to claims of deeper moral probing, Bowie was largely depicted as a gallant adventurer, far from the morally ambiguous figure certain modern observers have envisioned. This broadcast wasn't the first to spotlight authentic personalities. The life and legend of Wyatt Earp had already arrived in 1955, and others such as The Adventures of Kit Carson had laid much of the groundwork. Still, Jim Bowie contributed to the ongoing trend of romanticizing American icons for evening viewers. A minor cultural swell followed. Bowie knife replicas soared in popularity, and the series' theme song, performed by the Bowie Knife, had a brief chart appearance. Many wonder if the production reignited interest in early Texan lore, though how much credit it really deserves is uncertain. What's clear is that this program blurred the distinction between fact and fiction, offering a dramatized version of the past that slotted perfectly into the period's hunger for frontier storytelling. The Gallant Men. The Gallant Men arrived on ABC in October of 1962, entering a bustling war drama market with one clear goal: authenticity. Placed against the backdrop of the Italian campaign of World War II, the program followed a fictional U.S. Army infantry unit through one of the conflict's most grueling yet under-recognized theaters. In contrast to many contemporaries, it avoided romanticizing combat. Producers relied on military consultants and World War II veterans to ensure uniforms, tactics, and equipment were as true to life as network standards would permit. Although the characters were invented, the setting was grounded in true events. Though this production avoided referencing specific battles like Monte Cassino, many episodes plainly drew from those notorious confrontations. Certain television scholars note that the series made early moves to address the psychological burden of warfare, touching on concepts like survivor's guilt and emotional strain, topics seldom featured on early 60s broadcasts. Still, it encountered strong competition. Combat, another World War II serial, debuted mere weeks before and rapidly captured public attention. The Gallant Men had a single-season run, and some believe its measured pace and weighty historical focus proved less appealing to large audiences. There are whispers that network higher-ups felt uneasy about its solemn tone, afraid it lacked the action-oriented punch viewers craved. Despite its limited tenure, the show's opening narration made it clear. This was homage, not mere entertainment. Among dedicated war drama fans, it remains recognized as one of television's pioneering attempts to depict authentic wartime experiences. The Untouchables. In 1959, a gritty crime drama stormed television screens and stirred up more than just ratings. The Untouchables wasn't fiction, it drew from the authentic exploits of Eliot Ness, the prohibition agent who helped bring down Al Capone. Adapted from Ness's memoirs, the series offered a dramatized but remarkably close look at federal efforts to dismantle organized crime in 1930s Chicago. Led by Robert Stack's steely portrayal of Ness, the show didn't sugarcoat the violence, and that starkness hit a nerve. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover publicly condemned the series, accusing it of misrepresenting federal agents as reckless and overly aggressive. In the background, whispers claim that Hoover even urged networks to water it down. Some entertainment writers at the time speculated that genuine mobsters weren't thrilled about being thinly disguised on national television either. Whether or not the underworld was paying attention, audiences definitely were. The show won multiple Emmy Awards and redefined what historical accuracy could look like on primetime. The Untouchables didn't merely portray the past. It tested authority, ignited debate, and helped shape the crime genre as we know it. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified of our new videos each week. Thanks for watching.